Thank you, Madam Chair. Earlier this year, President Biden signed an executive order to eliminate the use of private contracted prison facilities from the federal justice system, and this bill provides $75 million under the U.S. Marshals Service Federal Prison Detention Account in order to carry out the President's executive order. This order would cost $75 million to taxpayers in just 1 year alone. It's a clear waste of taxpayer money, in my mind. An extra $75 million in the federal prison detention account is completely unnecessary. On top of that, this will cost jobs in districts across this country, including in districts represented by several members of this committee. These are jobs that are in Youngstown, Ohio. These are jobs that are in Laredo, Texas. These are jobs that Americans need now more than ever. And by the way, if you look at who's being held in these prisons, a great number of the prisoners are illegal immigrants who have committed some very serious offenses. And so I think it's kind of misguided when we would be sending this $75 million away from this area. We support the effort to close the facilities that save the taxpayer money and that are actually detaining criminal aliens. Again, that seems backwards to me. So this amendment proposes to spend the $75 million of taxpayer money instead to support a different area. Instead of using it to support the executive order without the congressional authority, we would take this $75 million and redirect it to the Drug Enforcement Agency, where DEA agents would be using it to address the flow of illicit fentanyl that is currently crossing our southern border. This is fentanyl that's a direct threat to Americans right now. It's killing Americans. 136 people die every day from an opioid overdose in this country. I know members of this committee have been talking about drug overdoses in this hearing today. And I think when you look at that threat, this is a measurable way where we could address that pretty quickly. And by the way, when you look at where this illicit fentanyl is coming from, we've talked about the cartels today. Cartels are trafficking across the border, but when you look at the country of origin for a lot of this fentanyl, it's coming from communist China. So I think what we should be doing here is spending our taxpayer resources in an area where they are needed right now, where they're going to do the most good and preserve the jobs in this process. So I urge support of my amendment, and I yield back.